We don't think that it's fait accompli, and it's obvious why it should not become operational until it's fully compliant with European law. Because Putin cannot be above the law in Europe. It will have a detrimental effect, both short-term and long-term, on the competition in the European market, and ultimately European consumers will suffer. On top of it, there is a very risky situation with the military effects of this pipeline. It increases the chances of a full-scale war here in Ukraine, and it damages the security situation in the entire region. So from that perspective, it's far from being a fait accompli.
How disappointed are you in the leadership of Angela Merkel, given that we were supposed to be taking a tough line with Russia over its actions over Ukraine, and yet there's been this twin-track approach of developing the pipeline, working with the Russians on energy supplies, and ultimately bypassing Ukraine? Do you think all the German commitments and the speeches that Angela Merkel made were basically hollow?
Frankly, I personally discussed it with her, and that's why I heard her arguments, and sometimes I understand them. I also understand that Germany as a country understands, again, the security and even the military perspective of this particular problem. And here I would expect, and many people would expect, more leadership from the US government, frankly. So they are the one who can influence, again, this particular dimension, the security one, the military one. And it's a very important one. It's not an economic project. It's really about weaponizing the gas sector in the region. It's really about, again, trying to change, I would even say, the world order by Putin.
Yuri, last time I looked at a map, the United States wasn't part of continental Europe. Why do we need to try to divert responsibility to the United States at this point? Surely if Europe wants energy security, Europe has to take the consequences of telling the Russians, we don't want your gas.
Again, first of all, I'm fully with you that Europe should be serious about its energy security. And it's not about telling Russians that we Europeans don't need Russian gas. It's about telling Russians that they have to play by the rules. So if they want to operate inside the European Union, they need to follow the rule, as simple as that. But on top of it, because it's not just about energy security, it's about, again, global security, that's where we would expect some leadership from the US government. But of course, again, if we just look at the energy markets, here the European regulators, the European institutions should play a leading role. They should really ensure that, again, Russians are not above the law, that this particular pipeline can become certified only if it's fully compliant with European law. That's a fundamental principle of the European Union, the rule of law.